Last night, 60 Minutes featured a one-on-one interview with Vice President Kamala Harris. She issued a strong warning to Iran about potentially getting involved in the conflict between Israel and Hamas.
And what's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
So joining us now with more on the interview is 60 Minutes correspondent Bill Whitaker. Thank you so much for joining us, Bill. Very strong statement from the vice president in your discussion with VP Harris. What was your sort of biggest takeaway about where the administration stands in regard to the conflict in the Middle East?
That was when she was her most firm and her most decisive when we were speaking to her. I think they really wanted to get the message out that, one, the United States does stand firmly behind Israel. She also wanted us to know that the United States is not pulling the strings, that this is a war that, or an incursion, that Israel has taken the lead on this, but that the U.S. is giving them support, diplomatic support, financial support, military equipment support. But she also wanted to make clear that the U.S. wants the region to know that the future of the Palestinians must be taken into consideration, that there has to be a follow-up after the military incursion that takes into appreciation that the Palestinians will want security, will perhaps even lead to a two-state solution. She didn't say those words to us, but that was basically what she was saying.
Bill, let me switch gears and ask you about the 2024 campaign. What did she tell you about the type of relationship she has with President Biden heading into 2024, the election, the concerns that some Democrats have over his health long term?
Well, both she and President Biden told us that they have a very close relationship, that they work very closely together. I think the president sent us a statement saying that he truly values her counsel. And she told us that she meets with President Biden every day, sometimes several times a day when they're both in Washington, D.C. But when we brought up the issue of the president's age, which is a concern that we are hearing not just from Republicans, but recent polls have shown that a majority of Democrats are concerned about President Biden's age. She was, as I said, she was her most firm when she was talking about Israel. Perhaps I misspoke. She was most firm when she was giving a full-throated support to President Biden and his ability to lead the country now, and that she believes he will be fit and able to run for a second term. She was very, very firm with that.
You know, there's been a lot of sort of casual discussion about the role of the vice president and whether or not she receives more criticism than other vice presidents have, because typically the vice president sort of hangs back a little, right? But there's been all kind of talk about whether or not she's doing enough. What has she been doing? What's she doing on immigration? All that sort of stuff. Does she feel like the American public knows her?
I think at this point, she was talking about suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. She believes that this goes with the territory. You are in the arena. She is the second most powerful politician in the United States. And the criticism is something that she expects. Does she think that it's all fair? No, she doesn't. But she also points out that this is just part of the process. And her job and the administration's job would be to get out there and convince people that their vision is something that should attract the voters. And she says she's up for that task.
Bill Whitaker, always great to have you. It's such a rare occasion.
Very
and
rare, so we
we're
appreciate
so
it.
happy that you're able to spend some time with us, talking to us and our viewers about your incredible interview with the Vice President. Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.